This is Matthew Vandiver from Lubbock, Texas, and you're watching Sean Likes Spaceships. What's that?
Qui-Gon Jinn fights a deadly lightsaber duel with this evil Sith apprentice. Emily.
Who is Darth Maul?
Yes.
Hey, it's Sean. This video is made specifically for people who may be on the fence about watching the latest Disney Star Wars show, Maul Shadow Lord. There's sort of spoilers ahead. You can see these things in the trailers and anything that happened before the new Maul series. For years, I've always thought that when Star Wars fans meet each other, they should introduce themselves by listing their favorite Star Wars so both parties know what they're about to get themselves into. So in that spirit, here's my list. Original Trilogy, Andor, Rogue One, Mando Season 1 and 2, and Jedi Fallen Order. From my list, you can tell I don't like a lot of Jedis in my Star Wars. You may have a different opinion, and that's great because variety keeps life interesting. Star Wars means many different things to many different people. I personally have always loved Star Wars since I was a small boy. True, we've had our rough patches over the years, and there were times when it felt like Star Wars didn't care about me at all. We decided to see other people for a while, especially after that one thing that happened, and that other thing, and that other thing. But now I see Star Wars for what it is, an uneven universe where the dumbest thing you've ever seen is immediately followed by a piece of sci-fi you didn't think Star Wars was capable of making anymore. I've seen almost everything Star Wars has ever put out. I've read a lot of the novels, I've played damn near every video game. I've even watched some pretty great fan movies. But with me saying this, I don't know everything there is to know about Star Wars. I know some people study it like their senior thesis, but I don't. I like what I like, and I don't what I don't. You're going to have different opinions than me on a lot of this, and I understand that. I'm more than willing to listen to your side of things as long as you keep things civil. Okay, good talk. Now let's go see what your new mom thinks about the two of us binging Star Wars, Maul Shadow Lord together.
This is what awaits all those who have betrayed me.
I've always thought of Maul as a character of unreached potential. I know he has his fans. He's the best thing about The Phantom Menace. Maul Shadow Lord starts 1 year after Revenge of the Sith, or 18 BBY if you're into that sort of thing. At the point of Maul Shadow Lord, Maul is sort of like a defrocked evil priest. He might not be a practicing card-carrying Sith anymore, but he still believes in evil. If you don't know everything about the artist formerly known as Darth Maul, I think you'll be able to follow along, but honestly, I'm in too deep to accurately know the answer to that question. But if you want to know everything there is to know about Maul before watching the new series, now's the time to stop this video and watch the roughly 7.5 hours of Maul lore you'll need to watch in order to catch up.
Anytime Maul appears, it generates excitement. When I was working on the Clone Wars with George, he had an idea that he wanted to bring back Darth Maul.
If you're a completionist and you must watch it all for yourself, you most likely have a form of autism and you should get yourself tested. For the rest of you, thank you for sticking around, and I hope you have the form of autism that best suits you. When I heard they were making a Maul animated series, I was interested because Maul could be a terrific character. I've just never seen him be great. So far, the highlight of his career has been killing the long-haired space hippie who freed Galactic Hitler from slavery. I've watched all of the Clone Wars cartoon, which is where 90% of Maul's backstory comes from. Watching that show is like hanging out with your friend who's really into poker. They want to tell you all about their really great poker hand they had and give you the smallest of details. In the case of the Clone Wars series, one episode will be a triumph of animation, and the next, someone is telepathically speaking to a space whale. Maul's its own show, but my mom wouldn't be able to differentiate between the two. "You're a middle-aged man," she would say. "Why are you watching a cartoon about space Satan?" And she would be correct. Reason number 1, the animation looks great. It's upgraded, but not in a way that makes it look weird, the way that Looney Tunes looked weird when it was 3D animated in the 90s. The creators of Maul described the process of the animation style way better than I could.
We created real map paintings.
We have even created miniatures.
And all these lightsabers.
Even the way it sounds is more extreme.
You actually hear the sound of Sam screaming built into the saber.
There are times when it feels like you're watching moving paintings. There are moments when it's truly a beautiful show. Reason number 2, hiring Dennis Haysbert to voice this character named Master Io Diodaki is maybe the smartest move the show made. Nothing says pay more attention to this homeless talking space iguana like giving him the voice of Pedro Serrano and the Allstate commercials guy. Reason number 3. After watching trailers, I thought this character would annoy the shit out of me. The character's name is Devon, and she's not particularly Clone Wars-y. By that I mean she's not overpowered, cracking stupid jokes, or has some fakakta Jedi ability no one's ever seen before. This Jedi can change anyone's gender if she's focused enough. Reason number 4. This sucker moves. The worst thing this show could have done is start slow, and watching it might feel like a part-time job, but Maul shows up in the first scene, and by the end of episode 2, you know damn well his intentions. I looked to see how much time was left in the episode, and it was almost over. Reason number 5, they made Maul cool again. Every time Space Satan shows up, the scene is elevated, and it means more. And it better. They named the show after him. You know what you call a show where the main character is the worst part? Iron Fist. Pew, 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 got him! Sam Witwer plays the voice of Maul, like every line of dialogue will one day end up on a piece of fan art.
I love it. It's the best part of the job.
The way that this show looks, that's the world that Maul sees. Dangerous. A little bit more rougher on the edges. You know, anger, fear, aggression.
He's really into Star Wars, man. I mean, like, put makeup on your face doing voiceover work into it. I don't know if you think that's cool or lame, but I think it's pretty cool when someone cares about their job. Reason number 6, the show starts strong and it ends strong. Any great entertainer knows how to do this. Now let's take the world's greatest entertainer as a reference point, and let's talk about Tone Loc. If you're going to a Tone Loc concert, you already have a very high level of expectation. Everyone already knows that Tone Loc is the consummate performer, and he's an incredibly smart man, and he knows that you've already got high expectations going to one of his concerts. And he's going to open his show with a banger. So when Tone Loc hits the stage, he'll probably start with his triple platinum song, Wild Thing. And it's no different with Maul. When his character is reintroduced, he's bringing the thunder immediately, just like Tone Loc. When Maul shows up, cute badass music score, he ignites his lightsaber, and Maul's lightsaber scenes are some of the very best in Star Wars, and it just feels great to see someone do what they do best. You want to watch Maul being Maul? And you get to see that in the opening scene. Feels like Maul Shadow Lord needs 10 episodes to tell its story.
What?
And then in the final 2, everything jumps up a level. Characters get killed off, and the plot line basically turns into Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It's just about survival, and it's handled deftly. It's like how Tone Loc will always close the show with Funky Comedina. He'd be an idiot if he didn't.
But now all the poodles run to my house for the funky Comedina.
Good point. Seven's the key number here. Think about it. Right. Seven 11s? Yeah. 7 dwarfs? 7, man, that's the number. 7 chipmunks twirling on a branch, eating lots of sunflowers on my uncle's ranch. You know that old children's tale from the sea?
Reason number 7, Duel of the Fates. I don't know when it became Maul's theme song, but it has, and I'm okay with that. I wish John Williams would make my theme song, but he should probably spend his remaining days enjoying his life. And I don't want to bother him. Reason number 8, whoever it was that wrote the Book of Boba Fett, I know I could look it up. I don't want to give that show another second of my time. Whoever wrote that show should watch Maul Shadow Lord. That's how you make a show where your lead character is a villain. Remember all the nerds who used to think Boba Fett was the coolest character in Star Wars? I do, because I was one of those guys. I'm not now. Reason number 9. If you're a nerd like me, you know there's a certain level of embarrassment when you live with a non-nerd and they walk into the room when you're watching a cartoon. If your significant other walks into the room, there are moments when you will be embarrassed. Like whenever this robot starts speaking, because he sounds like a robot minion. However, the cringy moments are few and far between, way less than if you were watching Clone Wars or Soccer Dog 2, European Pup for fun. Reason number 10. I have no idea if The Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be any good, and I've been bitten way too many times by Star Wars to give them the benefit of the doubt, but if it is, then Star Wars has been on a bit of a run. If I were forced to give this show a grade with Scout Trooper being the highest, and with First Order Stormtrooper being the lowest grade, I would give this show an original Stormtrooper. Well, I do like Maul Shadow Lord a lot. It isn't perfect. Maul doing the Star Wars equivalent of a bank heist seems unbecoming for someone who was the scourge of the galaxy a few years previous. You don't see Darth Vader doing that shit, because Darth Vader has a little something called self-respect. We also spend way too much time with the police force. Just how are they supposed to apprehend Maul? The guy held his own against 2 space wizards. Also, this is more of a Star Wars problem, but after the way things went down at the end of the prequels, why would anyone still be a Jedi, even a Jedi in hiding? It's the worst gig ever. You have no real-world skills since you were training to be a Jedi since you were a little kid, and you can't be in any relationships since the idiots at the Jedi Temple told you using your tingly bits is bad. Look around in the real world. Do you see anyone continuing the traditions of the Knights of the Round Table? Damn. Are we living in a world where the bad guys won? If this show's main goal was to make me like Maul again, it succeeded. I thought I was totally out on him when he showed up in Clone Wars with the robot spider legs, acting like the guy everyone sits away from when using public transit. And I can remember very specifically when he showed up at the end of Solo, thinking to myself, damn, Star Wars needs to make some new bad guys. At the time of recording this, Maul's already been greenlit for Season 2, and I will watch it, which I'm surprised by. After watching all 10 episodes of the first season, one of the things I still haven't figured out is whether this show is made for adults that kids will watch, or if this is a kid show that adults don't mind watching. Based on the way the violence is portrayed on the show, I think it might be the latter, but it's too close to call. My name is Sean, and I like spaceships.
Bringing us Maul Shadow Lord. What was sort of the impetus of the idea? How did it all start?
Well, we wanted to make a show people would watch, so we said, let's make a show about Darth Maul.
And those are the 10 best reasons why you should watch Maul Shadow Lord. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
And he said, well, why doesn't someone go find him? And then he went to look for Luke Skywalker, but he hadn't returned. And he was on his rock, and the soldier said, you'll freeze before you hit your first marker. And Han Solo said, well, then I'll see you in hell.